Karen, which elements did you find most difficult?
I think combining the risotto and the fish at the same time, you know, not having your risotto to stand too long, you know, for it to keep on cooking. And then for my fish just to be right at that right moment. So I really hope the combination of those two is going to be right.
It certainly looks like an appetizing plate of food. Let's see how it tastes.
Yes, indeed. Let's taste.
Karen, I'd like to start with the risotto. A mound of that. You can see the fluffiness and the juiciness of that risotto has absorbed that stock beautifully. So well done on that.
Thank you.
I think my little bit of fish is definitely a bit dry, but I think I've got the thin end of the wedge here. But what I like is there's a creaminess to the risotto that I was after. And I think you've got the balance right, and I think you've done a good job.
The fish is cooked to perfection. Bringing all of that together, to me, comes close to Pete's creation. So well done.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
I'm relieved, I'm happy, I'm exhausted, but I gave every single ounce I had.
I knew.
There's quite a lot more risotto than what Pete's was.
From a colour point of view, the risotto does look a little dull. And the reason I say this is I noticed that you were almost cooking it almost in a paella style, where you're just shaking the rice the whole time. We weren't actually stirring it. The problem with that sometimes is that you don't agitate the saffron to release that colour. So what you end up with is little yellow blotches as opposed to a nice uniform yellow colour. Well, let's have a taste and let's see where we go.
Neil, fish was just slightly overcooked, and that's, you know, it's one of those hard ones because they were just thin fillets. But that was one of the pressure points that you had to get right. The risotto didn't have the depth that Pete's had. I couldn't actually taste any of the flavorants coming through.
Basic salt and pepper seasoning is required. And the obvious one with the rice is that the portion is too big.
I got a beautifully cooked piece of fish. And I like the textures. What for me is missing is seasoning. And the reason that seasoning becomes an issue on such a plate with too much rice that isn't seasoned, it makes every mouthful a little dull. And I think the answer to that is taste, taste, taste all of the time.
Hey, Chef.
Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks. I'm unsure, and I'm not finished yet. I'm concerned.
Jason.
Jason, how did you find today's challenge?
Having not cooked risotto before, I was a little bit worried about that aspect of the dish. I just hope that the texture is correct and it was cooked al dente as it was supposed to be.
On an initial glance, in terms of presentation, what I like, and I like this about a lot of your food, is you have what we call visible seasoning. You can see on the top of the fish that you've just seasoned it just before you've sent it out as well. The risotto's a nice colour. It certainly says eat me.
Bon appetit.
Let's have a toast.
That, to me, was not a risotto. I think you let it reduce too much, or you didn't add enough stock into it to release that creaminess of the risotto rice. But the seasoning you got right. Had a full burst of flavour in my mouth. And I think your appearance, your presentation of the dish was very good. It was a good take on Pete's one.
Jason,
Chef.
fish, moist, beautifully cooked.
My fish was magnificent. I think it was glossy, it was spot on, beautifully seasoned, just the right crispness in the skin. And while the risotto was dry, you could taste the saffron, you could taste the fennel, it was beautifully seasoned. You've got moisture in your fish and you've got beautiful moisture in the dressing. Is that enough moisture to compensate for the dry risotto?
Thank you, Jason.
Just asking myself, have I done enough today to get me through? And yeah, it's a tough time.
Corin, Neil, Jason. Today you were tasked with replicating Pete's dish of pan-fried line-caught white stumpnose with a fennel and saffron risotto and a Niçoise dressing. This was a tough pressure test, but you all made it through and presented a dish. Well done.
It's always difficult when you put yourself on a plate, even as a judge, you put yourself on that plate and you say, right, replicate this, do it justice. And it was great for me to see the 3 finished dishes and you got what that simplicity meant on the plate, which for me was great.
But like all pressure tests, someone will believe in the MasterChef kitchen.
I just feel that I haven't gotten to the real meat of it yet. You know, there's some great stuff still to be learned, and I don't want to go home now.
I'm just shaking and just hoping that my name's not going to be called out as the person going home.
And that person is? Neil.
What?
I'm gutted, devastated, so disappointed.